What about now? You guys hear me now? We're good now. You guys, it is team effort around here. I'm glad that you can see the graphics, but you could also see the drone over here. Look at the drone. This is what you could win if you record a video or write a post about how Hailtrace has helped your company succeed, and you could win this drone. It has a 4K camera on it, and it is retailing at about $650. So this could come to your house for free, and we'll pack it up in this nice little box here. Oh, maybe. And we'll send this your way. Alrighty, well, we are going to get into the forecast now. Officially, that the audio works, we are going to get in the forecast, and you guys didn't know we were going to have a prop on set today. We do all kinds of fun things here at Hailtrace, but let's get into the weather here. We are watching for storms today, actually a tornado report from yesterday. I think that may have been left over from the day before. 24-hour storm report here. We've got a few storm reports in North Platte from yesterday, a few in Joplin as well. But for the most part, especially compared to the days before it was pretty quiet yesterday. Now this morning, all storms started back up again, okay? We saw severe thunderstorm warnings down in Norman today. Right along I-35, storms blew up and then stretched up to the north as well. We've gotten multiple severe thunderstorm alerts out there. Let me get your biggest hail sizes. I know a lot of people want to know the biggest hail sizes for today. We got a 2-incher on there earlier this afternoon, or earlier this morning. Let's see, what were your biggest hail sizes? There's your 2-incher. In Tatum's, which is just to the west of I-35, we got a 2-inch size hail report in this area right here. But let's get into the radar here. I think I've got your radar pulled up. Let's see what the severe thunderstorm warnings that are happening right now. What does that look like? There we go. So we do have a watch going on right now. This is for northern Texas and into Oklahoma, central Oklahoma included in this here. This goes until 4 o'clock this afternoon for Allen, Frisco, McKinney, and Plano. Currently, we have severe thunderstorm warnings and a tornado warning down near Thackerville, Oklahoma. So this is right along I-35. This tornado warning into Marietta right now. We could also not only have that tornado threat here, but also that golf ball size hail potential in this area. So this is again in southern Oklahoma. Dallas right now, we're pretty clear. What are some other cities that have severe thunderstorm warnings right now? We may be severe clear. Other than that, we've got another hail report out in Chandler, Oklahoma. So this is a quarter-size hail report. We've got a line of storms stretching all the way from the northern side of the state down to the south and into Texas. So we are going to see this ongoing severe weather threat continue as we head into the next few hours, all the way until the evening hours tonight. Let's fast forward and get to your hail risk for today. So we've got severe storms. What are we talking about for your severe threats? All of them are on the board for today. We're talking about that hail risk in Oklahoma City all the way down into Dallas. What we're watching for here are the oranges and reds mixing in. So southwestern Oklahoma, north central Texas, those are our areas for largest hail today. However, I did tell you earlier that Denver does have a potential chance for large hail today. Now, what we're really watching for is just to the east of the city. So we're talking about central to eastern side of Colorado. But I do think if we could get a pop-up shower or storm in Denver itself, we could get some hail out of that storm. So it's very, very conditional. It's an extremely low risk, but it's possible. Alrighty, moving on to tomorrow. We have another chance for storms tomorrow. This, a little bit farther up to the north, still has that hail risk for tomorrow as well. So let's move on to talking about how large for your max forecasted hail size today. I think we could get up to hen to tennis egg. One more time there. Hen egg to tennis ball size hail for today. I tried to mix them all together. But you'll see exactly where. We're expecting down in southern Oklahoma and northern Texas. We've got a few other chances for storms today. One out in North Carolina and Virginia. Another down in Florida. Another risk for some small hail out in the southern side of Montana, northern side of Idaho, and northern side of Wyoming. There's that risk for hail in Colorado, but what are we really talking about here? Let's get down into Oklahoma. So we've got a low risk for storms in Oklahoma City itself, but that risk intensifies and increases very, very quickly whenever you head farther down to the south. A high risk in Wichita Falls, a medium risk in Abilene, Texas. Dallas, I have you in that level 2 on a scale of 5 for storms in your area to produce large hailstones up to the size of a tennis ball. You go down to Waco, your storms I think will get a little bit weaker down there, so you still have a chance for some hail in that area as well. So we've got a really good chance for hail today. Another good chance for some high wind as well. We're talking about wind speeds anywhere from 60 to 75 miles an hour. In some places, we could get even higher wind speeds up to 80 miles an hour. So that is an extreme wind speed. 80 miles an hour is definitely an impactful storm. So moving ahead here to that tornado risk today, that tornado risk is going to be centered a little bit farther to the south of Oklahoma City, but it does include Dallas. It's a level 1 risk. I think that the best chance to see a tornado will be anywhere from Denton to Wichita Falls. But then we also have a low risk in southern Oklahoma just to the south of Norman, and then even as far south as the far southern side of the Dallas metro. This doesn't include Waco. It does include Abilene, Texas. So again, it's a level 1 risk, level 1 out of 5, but it is still something to keep an eye on today. I think that the biggest risk really that you're going to see are going to be those large hailstones and high wind, but a few isolated tornadoes cannot be ruled out. What time are we talking here? Anytime between now and this evening, we could see storms fire up. These storms are going to be seemingly random today, okay? They could fire up at any time. Storms into Oklahoma City, I think possible through this afternoon into the evening hours. We're talking about 3 to 7 o'clock this afternoon. A little bit later as you head farther down to the south. Storms in Wichita, very similar timeline. Wichita Falls here, very similar timeline. Down in southern Oklahoma, these storms will continue through the late evening hours. Dallas, your timeline is going to be even later, okay? So we've got another round of storms expected to come in through the Dallas metro after sundown tonight. So it's dark whenever these storms come in. You need multiple ways to get your severe weather alerts because it's going to be difficult to see them coming. Waco, Austin. Again, I told you that storms are going to be a little bit weaker in here, but that doesn't mean that they're not loud and very, very active. We're going to see a widespread storm coverage area from Waco all the way down to Austin with lightning and thunder as we head into the evening and overnight hours. So we're talking sundown or later, and then even after bedtime, after you head to bed tonight, you could probably still have some storms lingering around your area. What about Colorado? I told you guys that if we could get a storm in Denver, which this model wants to pull a storm into Denver, then I do think that we could see some decent hail here. We'll see. It really is all about the placement of these storms. Some models want to bring this a little bit farther to the east. Some models want to push it back to the west into I-25, into Denver itself. So again, it's very conditional. We'll see what we can pull out of here, but I do think that there's a good chance for storms in central Colorado today. There's your hail map. Significant hail potentially coming into Denver. I think it's definitely possible, but we'll have to see what actually happens today. So the cities most impacted today, Denver, Oklahoma City, and Dallas. Tomorrow we go up to the north, so let's take a look at that risk for tomorrow. Into Kansas, we're talking about mainly northwestern Kansas here, up into the southern side of Nebraska, and even including just a very small portion of Colorado there. Low risk as you head farther down to the south into Wichita, Oklahoma City, and Dallas. Oklahoma City gets thrown back into the mix for storms on Saturday, so it does look like storms on Saturday have a pretty good chance for northwestern side of the state, very similar to what we saw last weekend as well. We have a pretty good chance for another round of storms. Again, all hazards potentially with these storms as well. You've got that tornado risk, hail risk, and wind risk. Down in the southwestern side of Oklahoma, we're ending up where we started. So we're starting these storms today in southern Oklahoma and northern Texas, and we're going right back there on Sunday. Just to the west of I-35, we have another round of storms on Sunday. Alrighty, taking a look at your upper level jet stream here, because it's just day after day of storms. We do have a very, I'll call it weak trough that's moving out on the west coast right now, but really what we're watching for are some of these short waves coming into the state, and that's what could spur some storms as we head into the weekend. Your long-term outlook here past Memorial Day and into the end of next week, we have a pretty good chance to be cooler than average, anywhere from Oklahoma all the way out to Tennessee. And then we've got warmer temperatures farther off to the west. We're talking about Montana into Idaho. We're also expecting a good chance for a good amount of rain down in the southern portion of the U.S. and pretty dry farther up to the north. So drier than normal from Billings to Minneapolis, and more rain than normal anywhere from El Paso all the way to Atlanta. Now, we like to say, how do you read this map? Well, it looks like what we like to say here is you need heat and you need moisture for storms. So what are we expecting for the storm risk? Just by looking at this map right here, what this tells me is that we could stay pretty active as we head into the end of May. You need that moisture, you've got it as we head into the end of May. I do think that we could stay pretty active in a very similar pattern to what we've seen here lately, where we have a series of storms just day after day after day, maybe a little break, and then that series picks up again. So that's what we saw over last weekend. It was just day after day after day of storms. We're going to see that again this weekend, and then we'll probably continue to see that into the end of May. Alrighty, taking a look at your 24-hour temperature change. Most of us warmer than what we were yesterday. And guys, don't forget about that drone. I still have it down here. We're excited to give it away. How do you win this drone? Record a video or write a post about how Hailtrace has helped your company succeed. Whether we've been helping you succeed over the last 15 days or 15 years, we would love to hear how we have helped you. You can head over to one of our social media platforms, write a post or record a video, tag Hailtrace, and this is very important, this is how we find you. Tag 15 years of Hailtrace in your post somewhere in there. Use that hashtag because that's how we find those posts and those entries. Alrighty, well, thanks for joining us today. I'm meteorologist Taylor Cox. Make sure you follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. And give us a phone call if you're interested in subscribing to our maps. We have all of those storms that happened this morning mapped at hailtrace.com. So give us a call at 855-334-4245 or email us at info@hailtrace.com. Head over to our website for more information. We'll probably see you back here in a few hours whenever storms start firing in some of our bigger cities. We'll be covering it, so follow us and we'll see you guys soon.